Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Andersen of Madison Maximize Living. Do you want to take more charge of your health? Join us as we cover breaking news that helps you and your family get well and stay well naturally. Coming up next.
Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural health care news today, and we've got some articles here we'd like to share with you. The first one I've got for you, Dr. Pat, is from the Business Insider. Researchers have actually calculated the exact financial benefits of exercise. And how much would you, if you had to guess, how much would you say it comes out to per year?
Well, I would say priceless because that's the field I'm in, but...
Yeah, you probably can see that. How about $2,500?
Isn't that amazing?
A year. They say it's basically, exercise is basically a wonder drug. It's a true poly pill, they're calling it, because it treats so many different conditions.
Isn't that amazing? $2,500, over $200 a month. And reduced health costs.
Yeah.
Because you are exercising 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much. They say that it's people that were getting moderate to vigorous exercise for 150 minutes a week. That's about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So it's pretty doable.
That's great. So you just can't beat exercise. It changes your the way your genes work. There's just nothing that tops exercise, nutrition, adjustments, and detox. And thinking, well, those things all work together, but exercise, you really can't be healthy unless you're getting exercise. And even if you're confined to a wheelchair, do something. You have use of your hands, get moving, do something, get in water, get that flotation. Any movement is helpful for the brain and the body.
Yeah, so definitely get out there, start today if you're not exercising yet.
Well, I've got one here on apple cider vinegar, why fitness pros are obsessed with apple cider vinegar.
Really, they are?
Yeah, and the idea is that it helps you manage your blood sugar, and it's antimicrobial.
Okay.
So what people do is take like a tablespoon of it and add it to 6-8 ounces of water, or put in some seltzer or some stevia to sweeten it. You know, I made the mistake when I first started using apple cider vinegar.
Did you do it straight?
I did it straight. I just poured a tablespoon. I was smart enough to only take a tablespoon, but I'll tell you what, I was hopping around for a while.
So you won't do that again.
A good at least 6-8 ounces of water with that apple cider vinegar. It's great in the morning. You know, Paul Bragg makes a great apple cider vinegar. It's often quoted as being one of the best, unfiltered, natural, raw, unpasteurized. But taking apple cider vinegar is very healthy for the body. Many people with muscle spasms and issues along that line get a lot of help with that. So apple cider vinegar.
But just don't take it straight.
No.
Dilute it a little bit, maybe add some stevia. This one's also from the Business Insider. It's titled, we should never have told people to stop eating fat. So you have permission to start eating fat, especially healthy fats. It says here that the national dietary shift from fat to sugar came, it says, at least in part because of a major 1967 review of dietary science. They say that there's historical documents that reveal that a food industry group called the Sugar Research Foundation paid 3 Harvard researchers about $6,500, which is about $50,000 today, to discount research that was increasingly showing links between sugar and heart disease, and to blame fat instead.
And what do we now know? That it wasn't the fat in the first place. Eat fat. You know, I think there was even a cover of Time magazine a year ago that says we were wrong. Eat fat. And so, you know, I remember having margarine or, you know, and things like that. And that was trans fats, and it was bad for you. What we thought was good was actually bad. So it's good to have healthy fats in your diet. They're necessary. And the American Heart Association even stated cholesterol is not a nutrient of concern, and yet that's what we look at all the time instead of the toxins in the ingredients. So eat healthy fats and watch the sugars is really the lesson from that. I think the other lesson is that it's hard to to trust studies. You have to look
Right.
nowadays. There's junk science out there now, which is very disappointing. You really have to look at who sponsored the study and to see if it fits with all the other studies, or is this something that we can't trust.
Yeah, definitely something to be aware of. We'll have more natural healthcare news right after the break. Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv. Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural healthcare news today. I've got one here about the American Academy of Pediatrics. You might remember, for those of you with young children, they did have a general limit on screen time. They had always called it 2 hours a day. But that's actually changed. They now suggest that each family devise a plan that accounts for the health, education, entertainment needs of the child and the rest of the family. It looks like they're taking into account the fact that there is high quality educational programming out there, and you want to really focus on that when you do screen time, but it's not necessarily a horrible thing. They are saying that under 18 months, though, you still want to avoid that. And you want to make sure for all children that they're getting enough time to sleep, play, learn what they need to do. So they're definitely stressing them that it needs to be high quality programming, but that families really look at what makes sense to them.
Yeah, and sometimes you see parents just using the screen as a babysitter.
Right.
And, I really think it affects the socialization of the child. So keep it down, folks. It's good for your kids. Go play with them. Go play catch. You probably have more fun.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one here that I think you're really going to like. The top houseplants for purifying your air, according to NASA. This was just recently published. It says it might not come as a massive surprise to discover that the air quality in your home or office is probably quite low, from things like painted walls, varnished tables, carpeting. We get things like trichloroethylene from printing inks, formaldehydes, benzene, and ammonia, to name a few. And what's interesting about plants is they will absorb the toxins in your house.
And they just keep them there?
Yeah, they hold it.
Great.
I wouldn't eat the plant.
Yeah. Probably
But
not a good idea.
you know, I went through, there's a list here, and things like Boston ferns, spider plants are good, Chinese evergreen, devil's ivy, and then it got into some of the other ones that I was really quite happy to see because I have them in my house. The cornstalk plant is one of the higher ones, and one of the highest rated was the peace lily, which really are quite hardy. I mean, I've had these in the office, and if you get to water them, they just all go limp, and then they come right back as soon as you water them. They're amazingly hardy. So we're happy with that. But I also saw the snake plant was rated number 4 for absorption of toxins.
Oh, okay.
And those are also very easy to care for. This also has a synonym called the mother-in-law's tongue.
Oh no.
So I think it's because it's very long and tall, probably sometimes obtrusive.
Oh.
You know, I'm just kidding. I'm
Not my
having fun.
mother-in-law. She's a sweet lady.
But anyway, the plants are very important to have in your house, and some of the common ones that are hardy are great for detoxifying.
It's good to know that they're hardy, because it is sometimes hard for some people to, if they feel they don't have a green thumb, to keep those things alive. So good to know. I have one here about diet soda. This looks like it's coming from Dr. Axe Food Medicine. Diet soda, how bad is it for you here? They're saying here in this article that it gives you a 30% higher risk of depression. There's also kidney damage. Long-term diet soda drinking causes a 30% greater decline in kidney function. It goes on and on. You have daily drinking is 67% higher risk of type 2 diabetes.
Isn't that something? Wow.
Popular sodas, it says here, are nearly as corrosive to your dental enamel as battery acid. So there's all sorts of reasons here. It goes on and on why it's not a good idea to drink that diet soda.
Or probably any soda, I would say.
Yeah.
And learning to drink other foods, you know, infused water with fruit in it, or vegetable juices is probably one of the healthiest things. switch over from soda. And you know, it's funny is everyone that I've known that's gotten off of soda many times from our suggestion doesn't miss it.
They don't miss it.
They don't miss it
So
once they're off.
give that a try. We'll have more natural healthcare news right after the break. Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv. Welcome back to Maximize Living. We're here with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural healthcare news today. An article here from Sunshine Coast Daily is talking about in Brisbane, Australia, they have a bone clinic. They're a world first clinic dedicated to the prevention, early intervention, and treatment of osteoporosis. They've opened a training center and they're doing weightlifting. And they found that this weightlifting is having remarkable results in combating the osteoporosis. They've even succeeded in reversing the diagnosis for a number of patients.
Isn't that awesome?
From lifting weights.
Yeah. Weightlifting is so healthy for you. When I was a younger athlete playing basketball and football, I was interested in weightlifting. And at first, way back then, they would say, well, weightlifting will be bad for you and you're not going to have a good shot in basketball. Well, I didn't have a good one anyway, and it didn't really make a difference. But working out now is recommended for just about every sport,
right.
Weightlifting, because it's very efficient and effective. And of course now we have other full body movements like cross training and things like that. But weightlifting still stands
It's a classic.
And when an elderly person does it, they find it increases bone density, increases muscle mass, improves posture. It's just a win-win situation.
Yeah, I find that. I like that it's never too late, too.
Yeah, it's never too late. A group of 90-year-old men in a nursing home put on a weight training program, and in 8 weeks they almost doubled their walking speed and almost doubled their strength.
Oh, that's great.
So weightlifting is good for you. So I have one here. We should eat fermented foods on a daily basis. Here's why. This is from Maggie McCracken, her blog. And it's been said that 2/3 of people have gut issues, a leaky gut or an increased intestinal permeability of some kind, and that really we don't get the fermented foods like we used to get. So it's very important to get that probiotic balance in your body, take the probiotics, but I think just eating the right foods can give you a lot of that, and some of these foods you may not be aware of. For example, she mentioned, of course, yogurt, and some kinds of yogurt have 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of probiotics. You want to choose one that has a lot of probiotics. Kefir, fermented milk beverage, that can be quite healthy. In fact, I just tried some goat milk kefir.
How was that?
It smelled a little bit like a goat, but it was still pretty good. Just a little bit. That was plain. They didn't have any flavored ones. I would have probably got it.
Yeah.
But there's kimchi is another thing, a Korean dish, a Korean kraut. That's not bad. It's kind of sour. It's about sour power to get those probiotics. And she mentioned kombucha tea. Is one of them as well, and then just plain sauerkraut, load up on the sauerkraut. But these are all things that increase the probiotic and your gut health, and I would suggest people try that for about a week. Really load up on it and see if you don't notice a difference in your intestinal tract. Yeah,
so it sounds like you will. And I think I recall from another article we did before that even helps your mental function too. Yeah, so it's a lot more.
There's a real gut-brain axis connection. When the gut's doing well, the brain's doing better.
Here's another one from USA Today. They say that religion may be the new miracle drug. They showed that church attendance in particular is correlated with longer life and a sense of meaning. They found that people are more optimistic, they have lower rates of depression, and they said that it could reduce mortality by 20 to 30% over a 15-year period.
20 to 30% over 15 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's quite a bit, and they weren't advocating, one belief system over another. Just the camaraderie of church and the positive messages that they're getting were really affecting these people positively.
Oh, that sounds wonderful, and we kind of know that and a gut sense of that. But in our culture now, we don't hear a lot about that. So I'm glad you brought that one up, because I think many times people put a little more of that spiritual balance into their life, they're going to be much healthier and happier. So we'll be back after a short commercial break with more of natural healthcare news.
Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv.
Welcome back to Maximize Living. We're here with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We'd like to take some time now to answer some of our viewer questions. So thank you for submitting those. If you'd like to submit a question to Dr. Pat, you can do so by emailing him at drpat@wi57.tv. Our first question is from Johnny from Middleton. He asks, what are some ways to strengthen your neck muscles?
You know, that's a good question. Johnny has weak neck muscles, and he wants to build strength. He wants to be athletic, and one of the easy ways is to do the neck extension exercise like this. Also isometrically like this, or this, or this will do it. There's also the 1-inch head suspension exercise where you just lay on your back and you hold your head up 1 inch off the bed or floor, and you hold it there for as long as you can. You'd be surprised how hard it is and how good that is for building neck strength. Now, almost any exercise you do with dumbbells, whether you're doing presses or curls or triceps or upright rows, all of those are going to strengthen your neck too. But one of the things that strengthens the neck the most is to get the right neck alignment, because we test strength before an adjustment and after an adjustment, and we'll see that strength come back because the nerves are working right. So that's first and foremost.
And I like that those exercises that Johnny can do them without having any equipment really. He can just do them right now today.
And I would be cautious of some of the machine exercises. It's too easy to go into a gym with the resistance and then start pushing really hard to the side or flexing hard. It's somewhat easy to strain your neck on those machines. I've seen quite a few injuries from that. So that's one I'd be a little more cautious on.
Good point on that. Our next one is from Alex from Blanchardville. He's 15 years old. It's a she, I think. What would you suggest for quickly building stronger muscles?
You know, it's get in an overall body exercise to build muscle and get the protein in your body. Start having a good whey protein or a plant protein supplement. Eat 4 or 5 meals a day, and give your body something, give that a place for the nutrients to go by doing whole body exercises like push-ups or chin-ups or lunges or squats. Some of those full body exercises are really going to promote your metabolism, and you'll build muscle faster. In fact, at age 15, it's a wonderful time to start working out because you can build muscle faster. When you're older, it doesn't come that fast. And so getting that base down now really pays big dividends.
Really, for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Nice. Good to know. The other one we have here is from Chris from Madison. He asks, is there anything a chiropractor can do for tendinitis of the wrist and elbow?
You know, that's a really good question. The first thing I would ask is, I'd question is it really tendinitis? So tendinitis is an inflammation of a muscle. The tendon of a muscle. And why would it be inflamed? What's going wrong? And usually it has something to do with mechanics. A person either overdid it, or their joint alignment isn't good in their elbow or wrist, and the muscles are just overworking trying to compensate. So then they inflame. So as a chiropractor, we look for specific misalignments in the radial head or the ulna, or in the wrist bones, or even fingers and hands themselves, and do specific orthopedic tests and strength tests, and then adjust those back into proper alignment. We'll also use ice, stretching, and other things. A couple nice stretches. One is to just reach your arm out like this and bend forward like this. That really stretches the whole pronator teres area. And another one is to put your arm up in the air like this, take your middle 2 fingers and pull back. And that stretches a flexor muscle on the inside of the elbow. Those are a couple nice stretches to work that out. And one of my all-time favorites is the old-fashioned wrist roller, where you take a piece of round wood, put a hole in it, tie a cord to it, and hold about a 3 to 5 pound weight. And hold it out like this, have it tied to it, and just roll that up like this. And you'll get tremendous workout. Roll it up, roll it down. Oh, there's a light weight on the end of that string.
Great tips as always, Dr. Pat. You stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv.
Thank you for watching Natural Healthcare News. If you have questions or would like specific topics covered on our Maximize Living show, email me at drpat@wisconsinwi57.tv. Aristotle is known for saying, health is a matter of choice, not a mystery of chance. Hopefully these news articles will help you make better choices for your better health. One of the great choices you can make is to call 608-833-1282 today for your chiropractic checkup. We'd be happy to help. For Maximize Living, I'm Dr. Patrick Andersen. Until next time, live well and God bless.
Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv.